everyone, and welcome to another weekly connection. As you can see, it's a little chilly today. I have a shawl sweater, so if I keep my hands up under there, they'll stay warm. But we are getting rain. Oh my goodness, I love it. And we have like chances of rain for like a week, which we desperately need this winter. We haven't had enough, but it is the desert. So today we have everyone. Lady Nada, Lord Katumi, Lord Mahay, Hilarion, Seraphis. Yeah, they're all here. Jagwal Call, everybody's here. So anyway, it is a group effort today. So let's start with bringing our energy in alignment with the Cosmic Thrust oil. And remember, it doesn't matter if you have it or not. I'm still going to connect us because humans are not bound by time and space. And as we get more evolved, we know that, and we're able to be more fluid in our existence. So anyway, you have your drop on, then you rub your hands together. You can really smell that aroma. Bring it into your aura. Cup your hands together. Oh, and just that deep breath in. And this is your 15-second meditation. Now, T and Mahay gave me the formula for the Cosmic Thrust oil. Back in the 90s, early 90s. And the reason why they gave it to me was because I do two things. I get what's called switched, and then when you get unswitched, it's easy to get ungrounded. So because I'm an empath and I have reverse polarity and stuff like that, it's hard for me to, at least it used to be, hard for me to keep that orbit of energy going heaven and earth all the time. So our word today is centered, centeredness. And how do we know whether we're centered or we're not centered? And we're going to talk about that, and I'm going to teach you some things to do so that it will help you, things that have taught me, trained me to do that exactly. And when they gave me the formula for the Cosmic Thrust oil, they gave me, I just had a shield fall down. They gave me this formula because I had blown my solar plexus out in the tire department of Costco because of all of the chemicals and all the stuff that was there. And when we're empaths, we're sensitive to all that stuff. And I just say we're supposed to be sensitive but not reactive. And it's a lifelong journey to get stronger than the thing that's coming at you. But ooh, it makes you strong. And ooh, it makes you very, 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 very centered. So we want to do that. So the Cosmic Thrust puts a little more here at your solar plexus so that you have a little more of a shield, of a barrier between things coming in you and not. And so that was now a major reason, that's why it's called protection oil, when they first gave it to us, because it really helps you to stay grounded. And you cannot be centered if you're not grounded. And you cannot be centered if you're switched. Now, switching, I learned about this from Dr. Upledger, who is the father of craniosacral work. And I've had a lot of craniosacral work because those of you who know me know that my head was crushed and my neck was wobbled, and so I've had a lot of stuff up here. And so when I saw him, the fontanelles, I was in my 20s, and the fontanelles in my skull had still not closed. So I had like a baby's head. So everything just kind of came in and out of there. And my mother would say, I really am an airhead. So, I mean, I think this helps with my, what I call radar. The fact that my head is more fluid than the average skull. But the problem is that you get what's called switch. So I teach people O-ring testing, because how do you know when you're centered? How do you know if you're not centered? Because you may think you're centered, but you're not. There's two things that happen. When you're centered, it is an absolute feeling, and it is a feeling of belonging. It is a feeling of comfort and relaxed. Even if you're going buzz, 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 inside of you, it's relaxed. And I call it the internal hum, that I need my hum. I need to get my hum. I need to make sure. So I will practice and make sure and check and double check it all during the day to make sure that my hum is on, is what I call it. And that's that feeling of centeredness that you get. So the switching part. The switching part is when your left and right hemispheres of your brain get crossed in the back of your head, actually in your corpus callosum. And so it's a very simple technique that Dr. Upledger taught that has helped me so enormously, and I share it with all of my students, and we also teach it within the Energy Radiance program. So it's real simple. First you do an O-ring test like this, okay? So you put your thumb and first finger, and you lace them between. All right? So now you're going to just pull. You're not trying to be Hercules here. You're just giving a steady pull, and that's your strength. Okay. So now I ask a very simple question. Is my name Jacqueline? And I'm strong. I try to pull that apart. I can't pull it apart. But now I ask, am I a banana? Thank God I'm not a banana. So we joke around in the bizarre thing of saying, am I a banana? But you want it to be something totally bizarre like that so that you can check, because if it says you are a banana, something's wrong. That's not what you are or how you're supposed to react with the world. So you want to make sure that you are grounded and centered and not switched. And from there, you're able to develop that inner hum within yourself to feel centeredness. Now, there has been a lot of mucking around in the energies by not so great forces. The Earth itself has been going through a lot of electromagnetic chaos, and when she does, I make sure I check myself more. The more I've practiced doing it, the less I get switched now, the better I am. But you can have something called reversed psi, meaning that you may be getting a vision of what something is, but it's exactly the opposite. And that usually means that you're switched. So you're just getting the opposite or the mirrored effect of what it is. And if you get yourself not to be a banana, you'll get the right answer, you see. So it's very important to make sure that you're centered and grounded in that you're not switched and your electrical circuit can go around correctly, which is what we do in that meditation. We bring you back into your ground, into that orbit. If you are not centered, you get cranky, you get angry, your mind goes, and you're like, and you get overwhelmed and you don't know what to do. And the other thing that happens is you start pointing the finger, at what's wrong when the problem is right here, you see. So they want us to focus on being centered and understanding and getting that feeling so that we recognize what we're after. And this was why Lady Nada said today we need to explain about being centered, because so often you might think you are centered, but you're not. And I talk about how I like to play chanting and, whatever kind of chanting you like. I like Hindi chanting, Pat likes Gregorian chanting. I'm not a fan on that, and then there's people like Karen Drucker that have more, I don't know how to describe that kind of chanting, but it's more kind of in the Christian vein of how you might have been raised, with different hymns and things like that, and very positive affirmations. Whatever it is, the chanting is a positive affirmation, and that will help you get back. You also do the empathic shield. The empathic shield brings you back into your orbit, right? And when you're in that orbit, you're centered, you're grounded. So, and you're not going to be switched. So you want to do that, and that will help you do that. So these are all tools that you can use, that I have used through the years, because the more sensitive you are, the more you have to train yourself, and this is why the dudes call it a training. They call the empathic shield a training for the light seeds, for the star children, because we forgot. And I make the joke that we dropped our tools somewhere down the birth canal, and said, no, not Earth, I didn't mean it. Because the vibration here, suddenly you realize, is so dense. So you have to put your tool belt back on. And conscious use of power technique and empathic shield are part of that tool belt that we want to work on. So all we need to do are these little exercises and train ourselves. And when I was young and I was first learning to do this, because I was horrible, I was just out there blowing in the wind, and they would follow me, and they're like, ground tube, they would say tube also, but grounding, and you don't know what tubing is, but that's another day. And if they would tell me, again, because they wanted me to be strong. They didn't want it to dissipate and wane. They wanted me to get those links, get that energy strong so that I was a force field. And that's what you're trying to do. That's your goal, is to become a force field of light. And that's what we do in energy radiance and in all these light techniques that we teach. So you want to be that energy, that force field, that lighthouse of light. That's your job as the light seed. If you find yourself bickering, if you find what someone is saying annoying you and pissing you off, or maybe just annoying you, you're not centered. If you find yourself going, you're not centered. If in any way your mind is commanding what is going on around you right now and not your heart, you are not centered. You are centered when you come from that connectedness and centeredness within that energy, within that orbit. Being that connection between heaven and earth. That's our job as light seeds. And when we are not, as T often says, you are a leaf blowing in the wind and very hard to catch. So let's not blow in the wind. Let's get it centered. And with what's going on in our country, everyone has points of view about it. Have your points of view. That doesn't change. I have a point of view about it. But I don't sit there and go, oh, those people. That is not centered, you see. And that is not coming from the heart. Because when we come from our heart, we are compassionate, we are caring, and non-judgmental. Because remember that everyone thinks they're right. Think about that for a little while. Everybody thinks they're right. So that must not be the answer. What do you think the answer is? The answer is going inside, being centered, becoming that light field, and changing the vibration of humanity as the planet shifts vibrationally. So let's do it. Let's be that orbit of light. And I need to get a little drink of water because this wind is drying my throat out. There we go. Okay. So let's visualize that light. Remember, it's yummy, yummy, golden light. Sticky, viscous, sticks to you. And it's that energy from the source. Warms you up on a cold day. Brings it into your throat, your nose, your neck. Oh, fill all in here, because all of the creepy crud going around in the cold weather, let's just amp that up in there. Good. Let it come out your ears. Out your eyes, out your mouth. Your breath should be light. Everything, it comes out your fingers. You bring it down and it radiates out your fingers so that everything you touch is that yummy, yummy light. Because remember, everyone wants this golden light. We call it the juice. And we've agreed to be a juice bar because we get the most, we get to be the strongest, and we learn how not to judge as a result of doing this. So bring it down into your lungs and into your heart and fill your heart with that love, with that light. And bring it into your belly. Fill your tantien, which is 1 inch below your belly button, and into your hips, thighs, knees, filling those knees with the kidney energy in the winter. Down your legs, into your feet, out your feet, and into the earth. And the mother's like, yippee! And she grabs onto you. And you wrap yourself around the grid system, which is her energy field. And then bringing that energy containing some of the mother in it, it comes up the back of your spine and just nourishes you and fills you with all that wonderful divine love of the mother. And you feel nurtured, protected, cared for by that energy. And it comes back to source and comes back down on the father yang side. Into your feet, out your feet, back to the grid. Around the grid, up your back. Beautiful. Back up to source. And again. And again. And again. And it feels good. And that's your tether. Now, we have to protect you on all sides. So we're going to bring it this time down and up and rainfall out the top of your head to your first aura, your physical body, strong. This is your groundedness, your genetics, all that stuff. And then your sacral body, which is very important right now because this is our tribal information. Everything we've been taught we shouldn't do. And it's about those belief systems, how everybody believes they're right. Let's work that one really hard. Bring that light out, make that strong energy. And the solar plexus, the third, which is where we connect with the collective consciousness, which is where we feel that vibration of what's going on in the world. And then out to the heart, where now we want to show that vibration coming from the heart, not the mind. And into the throat, where all that we do, all that we are, everything that is expression of us is love, is light. That's our goal. And then the third eye, where we have no doubt that we will succeed. Even if you watch the news and the news looks all crummy, don't worry, we're doing well. Sometimes the news makes it look worse when it's better. Keep going. And then out the top aura, your crown aura, where you wear your crown as the divine being that you are. And then radiate that out. It's going out pretty far today. Usually it's like 12, anywhere between 6 and 12. It's going out a little farther, more like 18 inches. Probably because tomorrow's inauguration and the whole country is a little bit on pins and needles. So we radiate that light, make it strong, strong, strong. This is your force field. This is your shield. And you wear it so that anyone can come munch and crunch that light and they never come into your solar plexus. You don't care. Because you're caring and you're loving. And your job is to keep yourself juiced up, to keep that light out there so that everyone can learn how to properly interact and to come and interact between us with love, not mind, not hatred, not fear. It's time to shift hatred and fear into love. This is our job. All right. So I want you to wear these shields 24/7. That's our job. That is our instruction. And as these divine beings in training, we get to do this here on Earth and shift this very dense planet into a lighter, more loving place to live. In our lifetime, we will see that shift. And I'm old, so it should be soon. All right. I love you all. Be sure to like me and subscribe to me because I'm needy. And remember, I always have something on sale. So even though the main sale is over, I left things on sale like the Orgonite to protect you from the electromagnetic stuff, pendulums, and some other, I don't remember. Anyway, I love you all. You have a great week, okay? And I'll see you next time.